In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends creating a buzz here in China. On today's show, we'll discuss Chinese people buying houses in London. In China, most people don't think that investing in anything but houses is a good idea. That brought up the prices of houses in many cities. It's very hard for Chinese people to get renminbi out of the country, but quite a few manage to do so. They're then able to invest in properties abroad. This has raised housing prices in major cities abroad. In the last year, the housing prices in London increased 16.3%. According to data from the London-based real estate agent Knight Frank, in 2013, 7.5% of houses of less than $1.68 million in London were purchased by mainland Chinese buyers. The proportion was 2.7% in 2010. In central London, a total of about 3,000 to 3,500 new homes were traded in 2013. 6% were purchased by mainland Chinese buyers. Before 2012, the figure was less than 1%. According to a report from the property company Savills, in the past 2 years, the vast majority of investors in new homes in central London were from overseas. Nearly half of them were from mainland China and other parts of Asia. Chinese investors have gradually seen investment potential in London's real estate. The down payment for individual investors buying London's residential property is 10 to 30%. The loan line can be 70%. The loan interest rate is 3.88%. These have attracted a growing number of mainland Chinese buyers. The momentum will continue to grow in the next 5 years. To better market to Asian buyers, real estate companies are putting their prices in square meters instead of feet, and say that British people don't care if the house is in the north or the south of the city. To cater to Chinese buyers, they also hold an orientation session. Those Chinese people investing in houses in London are looking at the value of the home, particularly that from renting it out. Buyers who are focused on the income from rentals mostly invest in East London. It's generally priced from $510,000 to $850,000. Part of the wealthy Chinese buyers prefer houses of high value and a good location. A large number of Chinese students are studying in the UK. The rent from British houses is very high. To rent a $500,000 house in Beijing costs $480 per month, while in the UK the rent is $2,400. If a student studies for 3 to 5 years instead of renting, then it can make sense just to buy the house. There's been a steady rise in London's housing prices. This is a major reason why parents are choosing to buy the property. In addition, the parents are choosing to come along with their kids. This is becoming quite common with such a large number of students coming in. The parents often try to pick houses near primary and secondary schools for education. Often the housing prices in good school districts are relatively stable, such as in central London, Hampstead, Richmond, Wimbledon, and the areas around Oxford and Cambridge, amongst others. Many mainland Chinese buyers buy houses that offer a safe and comfortable living environment to their children studying there. Security should therefore be the primary factor. In London, for example, most of the new homes are old renovation projects, though. That is to say, they're likely going to be in brand new buildings, but those buildings are located next to low-rent houses with high crime, unemployment, and alcoholism rates. It's a way to get cheap land for an expensive building, but it's very likely not what they were expecting. The property management fees of the new building are very expensive. The Chinese home buyers in London have gotten the attention of internet users. Some of them are questioning where the money used to buy the houses is coming from. One said, quote,
"Those who can afford study abroad and houses in London are not ordinary people. The point is how many of them get the money legally."
Some of them think these commentators are just jealous. One followed, quote,
"You just have sour grapes. They have the ability to earn the money. Why do you say that they got the money illegally? Slandering others just because you are not able to make the money?"
Some of them think it's good for China. One said, quote,
"They use the foreign currency to buy foreign houses instead of speculating with domestic houses. It's a good way to curb inflation, I think."
Some of them think it's a good investment. One said, quote,
"They should have bought it sooner. A 2-story house with a courtyard and good location only costs $850,000.
Because the Chinese investment channels are too few and narrow, Chinese people can only put the money in the houses. Many of these investors are just following others like a flock of sheep and are continuing that trend when investing abroad. But a good question is how these Chinese people are getting their money into foreign currency in the first place. Laws on currency conversion are typically very strict.